Hey, welcome to a very special episode of TalkHvy. Once again, I'm your boy Scoop Burgundy.
It's your boy Taj.
Just call me Ruff.
Your girl just break.
It's Scotty.
And as y'all always know, we got the latest and greatest topics, and today we got a very, very special guest. The drummer for the stars. You know who we are. JDR Superstars in the building, y'all.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, the first thing that we always ask our guests, man, it's common courtesy. How you feeling, man?
I feel great. I feel amazing. I just got out of a studio session with Pastor Buster and my band, Origin Band. We're doing a remix or just a cover for Andre Crouch's Let the Church Say Amen. And we're about to shoot a video right after this interview. So I'm excited, man, just working.
Oh, you video fresh, huh? Okay.
Get that
Go ahead, y'all.
So first things first. How long have, for the people who don't know, how long have you been a touring musician?
I've been a touring musician. My first tour was 2002. So about 18 years.
And how old were you when you started?
Like 17.
Sheesh.
He upstairs.
It's a real early.
Yeah. Just need that air. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So since you started so young, is it still the same for you? Like, is touring still the same for you after all these years? You know what I'm saying? After doing it for so long, does it become like tiring? Do you know what I'm saying? Does it get to, or is it something that you love so much that you don't look at it like that?
I think that when you do anything for a long time, you start to when I first initially started, that's all I wanted to do. I had a burning desire to go on the road, like a burning desire. And I was like, I just want to go on the road. I want to be on TV with major artists. I want to be on a tour bus. I want them to fly me out to all these different countries and things like that. And it happened for me. And after a while, you start to you experience it, and you just you love it. But you want to go into other things after that. So I'm not necessarily tired of it. It's just that, I'm looking to expand my business, acumen or whatever.
So you saying that you started so young, at 17 years old? That's like a baby. Like, how do you even get, like, for anybody out there, how did that happen? Like, what was the process? How did you get started in that?
So this is the thing. Like, I believe anybody can do anything if you have a burning desire and you put yourself around the right people that's in that particular field, right? So, and then also, I believe that it's about relationships. That's the being around the right people, because let me just ask y'all a question. Let me flip it around. If you were given 10 jobs to give to somebody that's paying $150,000 a year, would you call your friends or total strangers?
Definitely calling my friends.
Okay, so that's how businesses work. They put their friends on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and no matter if it's basketball, no matter if it's the president of the United States, you know what I'm saying? They put their folks on. So it's all about relationships and getting connected with people that's doing it, and not just because they're doing it, because y'all have the passion for the same thing. Because there's those type of people that are like, yo, he on, so I'm gonna just be next to him and just use him up, and then when I get what I get from him, I'm gonna just move on. That's not really cool either, because that'll come to bite you in your butt, because that person knows somebody that's further up, and he's going to tell them what you did to them, and then they're going to shut you down. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about getting in relationships with people that's really doing it and that's pushing forward so that you can get that job that you really want. You know what I mean?
The networking game.
That's what happened for me. And then also, let me state that I was born at the perfect time. And what do you mean you was born at the perfect time? I was born right when when I got 17, 18 years old, that's when Neo Soul started was burgeoning in Philadelphia, and it was like 15 gigs, and it was only 3 drummers. So I definitely had to get it was more work than players. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was a timing thing too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have you, Darrell. What is one of your advice you would give an upcoming drummer?
Keep practicing, and stay. Like I said before, it's about relationships. So you could be the best, but if nobody know who you are, it really doesn't matter. Out of sight, out of mind, right? So you got to make sure that all of these events that's coming up, open mics and sheds, that you make yourself available and you come and play and people see your talent. And then once they see that, it's going to connect together. You know what I mean? You're going to start the work. You know what I mean?
Right. I have another question for you. Can you give us like 3 of your favorite places that you've been touring on? Like, which was one of your 3 places that you enjoy seeing out and touring?
South Africa for sure. South Africa was amazing because we went to Cape Town. Oh Jesus, my memory is so bad. Cape Town. I can't even. I'm drawing a blank. That's the only place I can remember. I can't even. Oh, Durban. And what's the place where Nelson Mandela was the president at?
Johannesburg.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just drew a blank.
Yeah, Scott, coming through.
When I went over there, man, I really didn't want to come home. But then I got on an airplane. I was like, oh, thank God I'm going home. But listen, it was amazing because all of the people over there, they speak like 5 languages. Very intelligent people. I mean, the way that they make Africa seem on TV in America is that everybody is naked and living in the bush. That's not the truth, man. These people are well off. They're doing well in business, and they really love like genuine people. And I went over there with Pharrell and Snoop Dogg, Mario, and Sean Paul. But this is when Snoop Dogg got locked up in London. So he didn't make the Johannesburg show, which was the first show. Because we did Johannesburg, Durban, and then Cape Town. He didn't make the first show, was Johannesburg. When they found out that Snoop Dogg was not going to be there, they started rioting. They started kicking the gates off, running backstage. We thought we was going to die. I'm talking about we was in a big stadium with like 60,000 people, and they went crazy. They were so upset. And then they got on the mic and they calmed them down. They said Snoop Dogg is going to come back and do 2 shows in a row once he got out of jail. And so he did the Johannesburg show, the Cape Town show, and then he went back to he did the Cape Town and Durban, and then came back to Johannesburg and did 2 shows. So it was happy. So that was amazing for me to see that. And I was like maybe 19 years old to see that kind of love that another country has for us. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at Snoop Dogg like me because he came up in the hood. You know what I mean? That's where I'm from.
Right.
So it was like, that was like a connection. And then I was on stage with Snoop and like chilling with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, nephew? It was all love, and his whole band was all cool with me. And it was all of, you know what I mean? He got crazy security guards, but they all was like family because they all from like where we from. You know what I'm saying? So it was
right.
That was an amazing feeling. You know what I mean? Probably Australia after that. They just have really good hospitality, and it's just amazing over there. You know what I'm saying? And after that, Malta, just because it's romantic and I want to take my wife there. That's it. Yeah. I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry.
All right, my turn. So you're Robinson, so you automatically got juice. I know you got juice. So I remember I was watching the All-Star game. My dad was like, yeah, your cousin on there drumming. So I told every girl I knew, I'm like, yeah, you know, your cousin on there drumming and stuff. You know what I'm saying? How do you deal with people like, you know, people who not really genuinely giving you love but want to use your name? Like, do you like distance yourself away from them people if you're not paying no attention? Like, where do you go for that?
What you mean? Say that again. I don't understand the question.
Like, you know how people be like, you know, pretending they know you, or like, you know, I went to high school with him, you know, like they're trying to use your name to catch themselves up, to try to get their own juice up. You're not paying
Name dropping.
your name dropping.
Oh, that doesn't matter to me.
It
That
don't
doesn't matter to me. I you know, the thing that I realized, cuz, is that gifts come without repentance, and what I was given was a gift, and I feel blessed to be doing everything that I do, even to this day. Like the fact that, you know, I can go on the road and, you know, stay at these hotels, and I just thank God all the time. Like, I thank God for me being able to be in this place. So anybody saying that, you know, as long as they're not saying anything negative, it's cool. It don't matter to me.
Yeah.
What you got, Scott? Scott LaRock?
Yo. My question was, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but who was your favorite person to go on tour with?
I gotta say Pharrell, man. Because first of all, I was a fan of Pharrell's before I got to perform with him. So I was already like, I liked his music. So that's always a plus. But then after that, I've been with him basically since 2006. And he pays great. He shows love. You know, anything I ask him to do, meet my family, and just Scoop will tell you, meet my family, sign autographs, take pictures with anybody. He does not mind doing that. And it's just seeing a brother work so hard. He's a great example to me, you know what I mean, of somebody that just making it happen all the time. So, you know, probably him. And then, like, I have a few, like, when I played with LL Cool J, that was amazing, man, because just coming up on his music, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was a young boy, and to be on stage with LL, like, he a legend, you know what I'm saying? So that
Right.
was, and we did the Essence Festival with him, man. So it's like 60,000 black people. We on stage with LL playing I Need Love. And then he let my band do, we mixed it. We did, what's the song? Purple Rain. We mixed it with Purple Rain, and my man Kurt got to sing. So he featured our band. That was cool, man. And then, like, Casey and JoJo, I mean, like, we came up on them and Jodeci, so it was like just being around them was like, it was dope, because it was like, that's what we came up, and God allowed me to be on stage with these guys, and, you know, so it was, that was amazing. So that, you know, probably those three people, but I enjoy playing with everybody, as long as they enjoy the music, you know, because I love what I do, you know what I'm saying?
So the follow-up question I had was, excuse me, are you a part of the creative processes, like with artists, as far as being a drummer and your art in your instrumentation and all that? And on top of that, whose creative process did you look at and witness and was like, wow, like this is amazing?
So yes, I am a part of the creative process because I'm a musical director. So what that means is I'll put the band together and I will put the arrangements together. So I did that for Pharrell, I did that for NERD, I did that for Mac Miller, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
That for Jasmine Sullivan when I was like 16. So I've been doing that for a long time, just because I listen to music a lot and I know kind of what it needs to be. I have a gift to know where it should go, and I listen to the artist and we'll kind of figure out where the song should go. And the person that I really look at and I say, wow, when I see them is like the Roots, right? Because it's like all live music. And they make to me, everything is about feel. It's like music can sound good. People could do all the chops and things like that. But if you don't feel it and you can't do this, it don't really mean nothing to me. So seeing Amir, which is Questlove, he's like the musical director for the Roots, and seeing their rehearsals, man, is like unbelievable. Like you see them playing a song like Paper Thin, and it sounds better than the real Paper Thin. Like,
Right,
you know what
right.
I'm saying? Like, this is insane. Like to get that feel, you know what I mean? So that's kind of who I look to, because I like the more organic stuff. You know what I mean?
So,
Go ahead,
also
Ty.
you also not only had success as a drummer, but you've had success as a producer as well. And you're a part of one of the most classic songs of our time, which is Golden. So how did that song come about, the Golden song?
So just a short story. My cousin Aunt Bell, shout out to Aunt Bell.
Shout out.
To Jazzy Jeff's studio, which is crazy. Jazzy Jeff is the first person I ever went on tour with. So like my career has been blessed. He took us to London, but we went down to Touch of Jazz, which was down 444 back in the day. He had that first. So we down there, and he was like, yo, I got 3 songs, still looking for a record. You know what I mean? So like he called me and my cousin Darrell Robinson. He plays bass, and we all cousins. So he's like, we play at church together. So he's like, yo, let's just go in the studio and do these records. So I was like 18 at the time, and I was waiting on my dad to come get me. So we did those 3 records. It was like 1 a.m. So I just got on the drums and started playing the beat. And then Ant got on the keys and started playing golden chords. He was like, yo, let's record this. He went in, recorded it, 1 take, and that's what you hear. That's the record. That's how it happened.
Wow.
Like literally. He called me like next week. He was like, yo, this is going to be our single, dog. I'm like, damn, that's what's up.
That's crazy. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Man, so that was dope.
That's tough.
Listen, don't interrupt my interview. You just had yours last week. Don't interrupt mine. This is TalkHvy. I would say what's up.
What's up? I'm back.
Oh, he's back. He's back, baby. No, I was gonna say so you're a part of. It's crazy that Aaron just got in there. You're a part of a successful band, and you play for other artists as well. What is the biggest difference between being an artist and playing for an artist?
You don't get paid. That's the number one biggest difference. You doing everything off the love. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But this is the thing. The payoff is bigger because you think about it. If we got one hit song, then we on in front of the stage. We playing the Grammys. It's the origin band. We're not playing behind somebody. So the grind is harder, but once you get one hit, it's over. See what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Like I've been watching. I'm a documentary boy, so I watch the Beatles. I watched a lot of different documentary of bands, and they all struggled at first. Bob Dylan, I'm talking about like legendary people, Keith Richards. Like, I mean, some people really struggle, but then when they hit big, they hit big. So it's about the grind. So for me, it's like, okay, I love playing for other artists, but like we have some talent, and I believe that we're a great band, and I believe that we can, put some good music out as well. That's what it is.
Take the dice, bet on yourself, baby.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Since it's been like quarantining and everybody has been having able to go outside and they've been all inside. How's life has been inside quarantining with you?
It's been amazing. I have a beautiful family. I have my wife that I've been with for 18 years. I got a 16-year-old son, a 10-year-old son, and a 6-year-old daughter, man. So we just enjoy each other. We got central AC, so we'll be cool. That's a big thing for me because I'm from Philly, man. I'm used to having one bathroom, only air in one room. So like this is a big deal for me. So we just enjoy it. I have an electric bike, so I ride my daughter. We'll ride around the neighborhood.
You said you got an electric bike?
Yeah, electric bike,
What's
yo.
wrong with a regular bike?
Yeah, you know, you see this way. I had help Doc. And it's also, you can make it, it could be manual as well. But the electric to help you go up them hills, man, Doc, I need the help, Doc. We'll ride around, and it's actually been amazing. It hasn't really hit us that hard because where we live, you know, when the protests happened, it wasn't going down around us. So, you know, we definitely like, you know, representing for, you know, Black America and George Floyd and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you know, it's been comfortable for us because, you know, we just in a good situation right now, I guess.
I mean, you did bring it up. I do want to know, how do you feel about the state of what's going on right now as far as the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and just everything? There's been looting going on. It's something I ain't never seen before.
Yeah.
So how have you been processing it? What's your thoughts on all of it?
I think that, I mean, first of all, I think that what those officers did to George Floyd is inhumane and is insane, and they should definitely be in jail for that. But this has been happening for 400 years. It's been happening since we got here. We came here not at our own free will, but we were made to come here. We were kidnapped, and we were made to build America, and they still treat us like second-class citizens.
Right.
You know, and I feel like, because my heart always goes out to the least of us, right? The people that don't have a mother and father, or that don't have anywhere to live. I always think about people like that, and
Right.
it's really like people look at people like that. Certain people look at people like that like they are not human, and that's not good. So I'm glad that everybody is starting to wake up and look and see, like, this is insane, because that guy enjoyed what he did. Like, that's insane for someone to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of things are changing. I just feel like we have to be strong and just keep pushing. And I feel like that we have to take advantage of this moment that everybody is looking at us and progress and get the most out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so that's kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, I get it all the time, man. Like, you know, I'm blessed to be able to ride in business class now. So when I sit up there, they like, you know, I'm a big boy with a beard. You know what I'm saying? Come with a TV.
That's what I was gonna ask you too. You travel a lot. Like, how is that traveling and being there?
It's either I play sports or I'm a rapper. That's all they ask me. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And I just make up something every time. Like, nah, you know, I own a Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why I got to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like right up here. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, they act like all we can do is entertain them. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of people that have that understanding. And one thing, you know, so I mean, I think at this point, I think that we all have to, like, you know, galvanize and get together and just make sure that we keep pushing forward and everybody starts opening up their own businesses and generating money for themselves, because you see this whole COVID shut a lot of people down, you know. So people not going on the road no more. I'm talking about cats that was about to make $300,000 for a tour, game over. So now it's like, if you don't have any real estate, you don't have no assets and no investments that's bringing your money back, then you looking crazy. You know what I mean? So this is like a wake up call. Like, yo, I can't depend on going on the road. I can't depend on, you know, X, Y, and Z. I got to do something that's going to always generate wealth. So that's kind of how I've been looking at it, you know, and just educating my children, man, just so that they can. A lot of people don't know about our heritage and our history, and they should know, because once you know that, it makes you empowered, and then also you won't make the same mistakes that others have made. You know what I mean? So you always got to do your research. So I always, you know, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, I let my kids see all of it. The black guy, anything black, we on it. You know what I'm saying? That's you. That's you right there, basically. It's you. You know what I mean? If they bombed a church in Mississippi and killed 4 little girls, that could have been my daughter, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm like Cadence, see, like, yo, that could have been you. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch this because this is how they feel about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
You have to be aware. I got you.
You gotta be aware, man.
You said something about generational wealth. Trying to build generational wealth. Well, I appreciate that sentiment. And let me ask you a question. How old are you?
36.
You 30. I'm sorry, I don't want to put your age out there, but you're 36, right?
Oh,
I'm 22.
I ain't from nobody.
No, it's cool, but I'm 22, right? So when you was 22, you say you try and build this generational wealth. What was your maximum for a date? I'm curious.
What was my
What was your max budget for a date?
for a date?
Yeah, back when you was 22.
Basically, because Scotty has a 30-minute, $30 budget.
Don't say nothing. We want to hear now so we can talk about Scotty.
So this is the thing. When I was 22, I wasn't even really dating. I've been with my wife for so long. We've been together, like, so that's what it is. And she can have whatever she wants. So I guess that number is, I don't know. But I mean, what I would say is if you at a date at 22, I would say $100 is cool.
$100.
$100? Oh no.
$70
You see how Robinson's coming? He's coming with the dog,
yeah, y'all coming
baby.
like some simp. That's kind of real simpish out there.
You want to show a lady a good time. You know what I'm saying? And but it depends on what kind of date it is. Like, what do you want to happen afterwards? You want to keep seeing it, or is this a one night stander? You know, that depends. But
listen, I was saying 30 cash.
30K?
No, 30 cash, like $30.
$30.
$30. No, honestly, what you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do?
Listen, man, we had a whole podcast. We had like a whole segment of the podcast based on what you could do with $30 dates.
Give him an example. He needs an example.
Okay, so now I'm about to explain it. Yeah. So, you ever been on the they do the wine Jones, the wine tours? They like 15 a person. You know what I'm saying? You can find a discount, 15 a person. You can do a picnic, $30. You can do a $30 picnic.
Oh no.
Get some Wonder Bread. I need to get some Wonder Bread though.
You tripping.
How about tripping? Like, go to the art museum. Look, peep game. Hey, go to the art museum. This is the scenario, right? You slide to the art museum, right? And the art museum got like the riverfront, John. You go right there to the riverfront, John. Yeah. Lay your little blanket out. You know what I mean? Pull your sandwiches, all that out. You good? That's $30.
Sandwiches that you made?
It's homemade everything.
Nah, I think.
What's wrong with? Wait. What's wrong with homemade stuff though? What's up?
No, it's nothing wrong with homemade stuff. But I mean, the whole point of going out is to be served. So I'm not going to be making a sandwich.
Wow.
That's for the family and all that.
But we talk about a date. We didn't say go out. We said a date.
That's how you get down, Scotty. It's cool.
Yeah, that's how you get down. That's cool.
No, that's not honestly though. Keep it a bean. Like
No. That's how you get down.
This was the. Let me tell him the caveat. It's definitely a caveat. Damn. Yeah. Listen. You see, I get bullied on this show, by the way.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
This is. But I was saying, like, if I'm in love with her, like, yeah, obviously, about $100 is usually what I would do. Yeah. I've done that before. But if I don't know you, like if I'm just meeting you, this is our first, second date, then yeah, nah. It's quiet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So it's you do it in increments. And
exactly.
The more you feel in there, the more she get. I got you. I'm with you. Yeah. I just do it because I don't want to be sitting down on the floor and I just want somebody to serve me. So she's just gonna get.
But you got money. You be touring with Pharrell, Snoop, and all them. I'm broke.
I got you though. I got you.
You out here.
Let me explain something to you. I'm not going to look at the riverfront eating road trip sandwiches. That's how I feel.
Can we at least go to Wawa? I'd rather at least go to Wawa.
Yeah, you get your Wawa hoagie. Yeah, right. You can.
You know what I mean? If it's
Get you a
hoagie,
shorty.
you know, I feel you.
Get you a shorty.
But get you a little shorty, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, anybody else got some questions before we jump into the next segment?
I wanted to go in on because we talked about this before in the podcast too. So, yeah, I know you probably seen what happened with T.I. and how overprotective he is of his daughter. How do you feel about all that? Like, is that too much going into privacy, going to the gyno with your daughter? Do you feel like, you know what I'm saying? How do you handle this when your daughter?
I didn't know. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you do?
You don't know about T.I.?
So a quick setup. T.I. went to the gynecologist with his daughter to see if she still was a virgin or not, because she went out with a young man and she said that she didn't do nothing with him. So he said, all right, we're going to find out. We're going to go to the doctors. And he said he admitted to doing that on a podcast. And it was a whole thing behind it.
She was crying and stuff online, and it got public. It went public.
How old is she?
She's 18 now.
She was 16 at the time.
At the time, I think she was 16 or 17?
She was 16 at the time.
16 at the time.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a touchy thing, little Keith, that you about to try to get me into. But I would say this is what I would say. That's his daughter, and that's something that he has to deal with. Because at the very end of the day, he's provided for her. Shelter and food all of her life, and gave her all of the amenities that she has. So, you know, if that's her father, if that's how he wants to do it, then that's how he wants to do it. You know, so people could say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, she still got to live with him and still got to wear his last name until she get married. So, you know, that's just how I look at that. You know what I mean? I can't really say, because I got a daughter, and y'all might be talking about me in 10 years doing the same thing.
That's what I was saying. Like, you treat your sons different than your daughter. Like, my son, you know what I mean? My son can go outside and do whatever he want to do. I need my baby girl to be in the house. Like, you got.
and that's very true. And I think that people will say that that's not fair. Mm-hmm. You know, but I mean, that's just as a man, that's just the way you're going to treat your daughter. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and we've seen that Tip has always been, he an old school type of person, you know what I mean? So,
right.
You know, he's going to do that, and he really doesn't care, because that's his daughter and he take care of her. Any problem, if somebody messing with her, she gonna call him and he gonna take care of it. You can't call all these people that's sticking up for her and all that and saying that she need her privacy, because people like to talk and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, when you have a family, your family is yours to lead. So it's however you lead, as long as you lead them the right way, I think it's the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Definitely feel you on that one. 100%.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? Scott said he broke her trust, so never trust him again. No.
Scott not feeling none of that.
I feel what he's saying. The part that I didn't feel was the part about sons and daughters. I don't know. Definitely feel what you're saying.
You do what works in your household, and Tip does what works in his household, Scotty.
Absolutely. But we're talking about culture, not just households. We're talking about culture.
So what you mean?
Culture as in culture of surrounding gender norms. Saying normalizing treating your daughter different than your son. Obviously, they have different experiences in the world, but trying to limit your daughter's freedoms in the same way as you limit your son's freedoms, or vice versa, is egregious, and it definitely can have a lasting impact on the way that your daughter perceives the world and herself.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. But it depends on the freedoms that you're taking away. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the very end of the day, that's why I said people would have a problem with that. But at the very end of the day, it's like, it's just, if a guy has multiple sexual partners, he's patted on his back, he's lauded, he's praised. If a girl does the same thing, she's called a hoe. You understand what I'm saying? That's a fact. right? So I got to tell my daughter that's how it's going to be looked at. So if that's what you want to do, you can go ahead and do it, but it's just different.
Right.
You know
my point is, I agree with you. Oh, my fault. Go ahead, Britt. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying what he was saying. Like, he's protecting her feelings. He's letting her know what it is up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree with telling your children the way the world is. I'm about changing the way the world is, though.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. And that's your opinion. Just like T.I. has his opinion, I have my opinion, and you're going to lead your family the way that you see it, you know, to that's the best way for them. You know what I mean? Right. So I think, you know, I agree with you. I do agree with you, and I feel like things have to change, and I believe it's just on the person and how they see things. That's just really how it is. You know what I mean? So, because even, I'm going to go back, because it's crazy because with this George Floyd thing, there are actually white kids calling their parents racist.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's racist. And they putting them on live and everything. So the norms are changing because I think racism is just passed on. It's perpetuated from the parents saying, oh, they are, you know, the N-word. You know what I'm saying? So that they don't respect them. They're below you. And you hear that for so long that's what you start to believe. You know what I mean? Right. So now the kids now is like, I'm not going with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's racist. So I believe that things are changing, Scotty.
Might be my favorite Robinson. I'm not going to these other ones, man.
There's some stubborn vibes. They don't want to hear nothing, do they?
Let me bring it back to the real Robinson.
Prideful Bobby.
Bring it back to the real. If you walk in our house and you see your son being sneaky, well, come on, girl, you gotta get out. Then you gonna dap him up afterwards. You catch your daughter being sneaky. Your heart gonna drop out your chest. You gonna cry a little bit while you try to fight the guy. The kid beat you. Like, you're probably a young swole guy, so you can't beat him and stuff. So you just like, ready to call the cops.
It's a difference, as you said. I got you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. So I mean, if that's all we got, we good to go.
Good.
So look, man, Scott, you was going. We need some bars from you, man. This is our segment. We're gonna have a quick commercial break, and we're gonna go into this segment called A Piece of Poetry. All things can be found at TalkHvy on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And ladies, if you hit, holla at Just Brick. Now, we got a segment called Piece of Poetry, and Scott is gonna bring us some bars from somebody, and we'll guess who the artist is. What you got for us today, Scott?
All right. So over half of these hoes had work done. Saying they want something real from a man, just saying that we being real persons. I hate that it's like this. I feel for you, and I don't know what it's like with a skirt on. So pardon me if I'm being insensitive, but darling, this only worsens.
All right, who's our three options?
All right, so the first option is Mos Def. The second is 3 Stacks, Andre 3000. And the third is Kanye.
Is it Kanye?
I want to say Kanye, but I think it's Andre 3000.
All right, go first. Go. We're gonna let our guests go first. Then Keith. Then Taj. Then me. Then Britt.
So that, I mean, that sounds like something. I want to say Ye. So I'm gonna just say that's my first mind. I'm gonna go with Ye.
Who you got, Keith?
Who you got, Keith?
Andre 3 Stacks. Y'all hear me?
I'm gonna go with Kanye.
I'm gonna go with Andre 3000.
I'm going with Kanye.
It's 3 Stacks.
Know what I'm saying?
3 Stacks.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Because Kanye got a song called Violent Crimes about his daughter, so that's why I thought it. I kind of thought you pulled it from that.
That's why I said Kanye. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Violent Crimes is my shit.
What song is that?
That's from Off Blonde from Frank Ocean.
Okay.
Solo reprise.
And nobody gave Mos Def any credit.
No credit to Mos Def. What's up?
No,
It's
because
like, nah,
that's not his flowing style. I would.
Yeah.
You can hear he rap different. You know what I'm saying?
He do. But he do got
That ain't his
songs where he
cadence
talks
right
about
there.
stuff, those type of subject matters.
No,
though.
absolutely. But even the way he placed it, I'm like, But see, if you would have rapped it with the Andre 3 Stacks rap,
I can't flow like 3 Stacks. I can't do it.
He that bull. He's that bull.
I can't do it like him.
It's really a monster.
He that ball. So we're going to go into our next segment after this quick commercial break. Listen, this show is presented by TalkHvy. That's TalkHvy. You can find all things at TalkHvy. And I'm talking YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And ladies, if you're looking hit, holla at _ just Brit. Now, this next segment is called Was I Wrong? So we tell a story and we ask the panel, was I wrong? Today, Brit, what you got?
Okay, y'all. So today I have a story. And I just want to know if I was wrong or not. So today's story is, it was a hot summer and it was nice, but it was a hot summer in New York. Just not any part of New York. It was in Times Square, New York. So
Okay.
we were one of our best and one of our sponsors at the time, one of my favorite sponsors, I would say, for right now. And his name is Robinson. So, AKA Uncle Keith. So, in my defense, I just seen him on TV. He was on the Netflix, and he was doing a comedy special at the time. I'm watching it, and he's at this time, he's taking us to New York every week. We going like 3-4 times out the week. So I'm like, as the girls would say nowadays, like, okay, he got money. So after we goes to boxing, he would take us out to eat. So we went to this restaurant, this fancy restaurant. We walk in, they're like, oh, hey, Keith, I ain't seen you in a while. How you been? They pulling out chairs for us. Oh, it's picking all the juice that's going on. I sit at the table, and at the time they give us our menu. Everybody is looking at what they about to get. So he's like, oh, what y'all gonna get? Tell the man what y'all want to get. So he's taking everybody's order, and I'm reading the menu, but I really don't know what I want to order because everything that I see on the menu is like nothing that I realized that I eat what I wanted to eat. But at the time I wasn't eating meat, so it was hard for me to choose what I wanted. So I'm like, okay, could you come back to me for a second? Give me like 5 minutes and then I'll tell you what I want. So everybody else had ordered. So at this time, everybody is talking, they laughing, everybody having a good time. So he comes back to me, directly to me, and whispers like, what do you want to get? So I'm like, so I whisper back because I don't want to be loud because like in there and they was talking and I didn't want to interrupt what they was talking about. So I'm like, I whispered back, so I was like, can I get the lobster? So he was like, okay, I'm going to write that down for you. I'm going to put it in there. So tell him that I wanted to get the lobster. Now, nobody heard me order what I ordered. So they come back to the table and they come back to the table with everybody's food and everybody ordered their food. So when they bring my table back, here I go with this big, juicy lobster in front of me. So it was my first time. So I took okay, I'm going to order this lobster because I don't know if I'm going to get another opportunity like this. So I ordered the lobster and everyone at me like I'm crazy. So before y'all judge me and tell me if I'm wrong or was I wrong, I want to show y'all this lobster first because I still got the picture. Like, I took a picture of this lobster. So
you had to do it for the gram.
Yeah, that joint was popping.
See,
You got a big
Man, we would have grinded you up for doing that. Not because it was expensive, but just because like you got lobster.
Everybody got burgers.
Oh, you done your story? I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm done.
I don't think he was wrong, but we would have grinded you up for that. Did they, or did they laugh? What happened?
Laugh.
So what happened was everybody was laughing, but then when we got back in the car, Kip was like, "My girl cussing, Brittany over here ordering lobsters." It was just
How you go out with my dad?
It was $92 too. That's expensive as Jack's.
How much was it?
it was like,
You know that?
I believe
That joint smooth
for the whole meal that I had got like 41. Everybody.
She don't know. She didn't pay for it.
That joint was a smooth about $80 a lot for one.
Brittany can never go on a $30 date.
Never.
Can I make Brittany's story worse?
What?
It's with my dad, my girl there, and my girl get like a $20 meal. How you order better than my girl with my pop? They order better than me. I ordered like a $20 hamburger. I looked at my girl, not something small. Play on my day.
Don't embarrass me. Yeah, that. I don't think you was wrong, but dang, I don't know if you should have ordered the lobster, but I don't say you was wrong. I mean, you said you just saw him on Netflix.
You just seen him getting money.
He get money. Let me just go ahead and get that lobster.
I asked my homegirl this story before I told it. She was like, "No, Brittany, you wasn't wrong. He should have just said what his limit was before you even did it." And I was just like, "All right."
You know the pride in the Robinson.
That's common courtesy, though. It's like if you can't pay for it, like if you wouldn't normally order it, you shouldn't order it on somebody else's dime.
Oh, hold on, Britt.
That's the rule of thumb.
All right.
Wait for them to pour that lobster. Yes or no?
But you a guy though. You do that all the time.
Huh?
You a guy though. Women do that all the time.
He don't know because he going $30.
Like we thinking practical. Like yo, I would never order no lobster. I ain't gonna order on nobody else.
I ain't gonna order.
Think like, oh, you got me. Oh, listen, let me.
You was on Netflix.
A bottle of Ace of Spades.
That is true. It's different.
And my mom
if I would have ordered the lobster, it'd have been wrong.
My mom said that's my order. Even my mom said, "Hold on, man, you overstepping boundaries."
Everybody else got like appetizers. She got a full blown.
Yeah, full joint.
You ready to eat like what?
But I couldn't even finish it. I had to take it home. I couldn't even.
And they got a to-go box. Oh, you know what? You bring me back to the day.
And they got a to-go box.
Yeah, some reheated lobster?
Yeah.
Oh, nah. You trolling.
It's embarrassing. You see this guy, he embarrassed me inside New York all the time.
You put that joint in the microwave, Brett?
Huh? No.
Oh, no. I put it on the stove and heated it in some new butter.
Oh, yeah.
No, but you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody out there, check it out. Look at it. Tell us if she was wrong or not. And if y'all got some stories, slide in the inbox. Let us know, man, because we'll tell them right on the show. Now, quick commercial break. Presented to you by TalkHvy, TalkHvy. You can find all things at TalkHvy on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And ladies, if you're feeling hit, holla at __ just Brit. So right now, we have one of our favorite segments. The last segment of the day called Talk Heavy Court. I stomped out Keith last week. I'm tired of winning. You know what I'm saying? So this week, you know, I said, you know what? I want some more. I got a thirst. I'm thirsting right now. I want a piece of Taj. So I'm going against Taj, and this time the debate is 90s hip hop versus 2000s hip hop. You need I say more? Now,
you got?
Well, I got 90s hip hop.
And Taj, what size you got? You got the 2000s?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You want a clean fight here, fellas?
I mean, I'm ready to smoke them.
Hey, smoke. We got our judges. We got our guest judge here today.
We got our guest judge here today. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got any coins to flip? I don't know. Y'all might say I'm cheating if I flip the coin again. But y'all know I'm always
on deck. Another old head in there. He might have a coin. He got some loose change.
Wait,
Brick got a quarter right there.
how do you flip it? I'm doing it. Who's picking tails?
I'm taking heads.
All right, you taking heads. All right, Taj get tails. It's heads.
Oh. Did that joint spin? Wait, did it spin?
I feel like Britt just dropped it. I ain't shit go up in the air.
No, no, did it again. And it's still 9 is on tails.
Oh, well, tells it is. All right, go ahead, Taj. Who you want to go first? You or Scoop?
He got it.
All right.
All right, man. So what we're talking about today is hip hop, right? And we're talking 90s hip hop versus 2000s hip hop. And you can't even bring up 2000s hip hop without the 90s hip hop, because 90s, I mean, the lyricism in the 90s was out of this world. In the 90s, you have artists like Q-Tip coming from A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, they were killing things with the Midnight Marauder. You got Jay-Z coming on the scene after the Tupacs and the Biggies killing the game. You got Snoop Dogg in the game. Huh? Are we talking Eminem starting off in the 90s? Are we talking my man DMX like going platinum twice in 1 year in the 90s? Are we talking the start of Outkast in the 90s? Because I got something. They say me and you, your mama and your cousin too. Huh? Like it's so many good artists in the 90s, and we talking about the lyricists, we talking about, I know what I said Jay-Z, but we got The Reasonable Doubt coming out in the 90s. One of the greatest hip hop albums. You know what I'm saying? 96, 97, we lost two of the hip hop greats. But before then, what they was doing, we talking Machiavelli, Ready to Die. See, Big one day told you that he had a story to tell, right? And he talked about how this chick was getting from a playoff the New York Knicks, huh? And how he had to sneak out the house while pulling his Roscoe out. See, it's just the stories that were being told in the 90s are second to none, man. In the 2000s, just can't get compared. It just can't. It can't. And that's all I'm going to have for my first half. Because, I got a whole second half of artists that I'm going to bring through. Because Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to mess with. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
I mean, I think you got a nice little story that you put together for TalkHvy Court today, because you talked about one of the greatest albums of all time, which is Hove album. But what you fail to realize is that in the 2000s, the early 2000s at that, the greatest hip hop album was Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent. And not only was that one of the greatest projects ever, it happened to go diamond. So not only in the 2000s did we have hip hop with rappers going diamond, we had other rappers such as Cameron and Joel Santana with Hey Ma, you know what I mean? And then not only that, you fail to realize that P. Diddy also was still active in the early 2000s as well, with Black Rob and Mark Curry with the Bad Boy for Life single, you know what I mean? And then your favorite hip hop rapper, which is Kanye. The 2000s gave us Kanye. And not only did the 2000s give us Kanye, he had one of the best classic songs with the #1 rapper, Twista, called Slow Jams. So, you got your little story together. It looked like you planned and worked hard for TalkHvy Court today. But the 2000s is spanking you. And you know why? Because Nelly was in the 2000s and he had Hot in Her. Come on, man. Come on. You're not messing. You're not messing with it, man. So yeah, with that being said, 2000s got nothing but hit after hit. And I'm not done, because Chingy was also in the 2000s with Right There. Huh? And not just Chingy. You forgot about the 2000s. You forgot that the heavy hitters that 2000 had, which was E40. Tell me when to go. Huh? Yeah, E40. And not only 2000s also birthed one of the greatest hip hop artists of our generation, which is Drake. So yeah, the 90s was good. We had Big, we had Pac, we had Snoop, we had Drake, we had X, but the 90s can't compare to what the 2000s came with, and that's what I gotta say.
That was cute. That was very cute. But you brought up somebody in your first soliloquy that I had for my second soliloquy. Mm-hmm. And he goes by the name of P. Diddy now. But let's talk about Puff Daddy for a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about this bad boy movement, the shiny suits, and I've been around the world and Let's talk about Mason. Let's talk about the Locks. Let's talk about when Bad Boy took all of the old bangers, right? Mm-hmm. They threw them in the pot, right? Mm-hmm. And then they took all of these new rappers, right? They threw them in the same pot. And what Diddy did was he mixed it. Then he mixed it. And then guess what he did? He remixed it. And then boom, magic. I mean, we talking magic. You can't compare to the Bad Boy era. See, what he did was he showed everybody in hip hop how to make money. I mean, he was making dope hand over fist, killing the game, single after single, hit after hit. And I know she's not a rapper, but when he brought Mary J. Blige through, you know, she had that bounce where you almost thought you was listening to rap. So when we talk about the 90s and we talk about what P. Diddy or Puff Daddy, I'm going to say Puff Daddy, my bad. Puff Daddy and the family did with Bad Boy in the 90s, you can't, it's incomparable. There's nothing in the 90s for that. Then we talk about one of the greatest albums, the 36 Chambers, a crew by the name of Wu-Tang, with ODB, The RZA, The GZA, Ghost, huh? Then we talk about DJ Premier, huh? We talk about Kid Capri. I'm talking about DJs now. We talking about DJs. And should I not, I can't forget, you know, Philly. You know, Philly's very own. Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the 90s was just littered with icons. People that you just can't, you know, you think of and you look at, these people deserve a statue, man. You got LL. Because when he's alone in his room, sometimes he stares at the wall and in the back of his mind, he hears conscious calls telling him what? That he need a girl that's as sweet as a, all right, come on, man. Come on, man. You can't compare to the 90s. And that's all, man. I'm going to drop the mic on that one, man.
You can't compare. You know, I'm glad you brought up a few things because you actually helped me out. Little did you know. Because you want to talk about an era, but I'm gonna speak about a real era. I'm not only gonna speak about an era. I'm gonna speak about an era in Philadelphia. The greatest rapper, Jay-Z, came to Philly to get rich, huh? And he put together a group called State Property. He put together a group called State Property. And from State Property, we got a great MC from South Philly named Beanie Siegel. And in the 2000s, he dropped an album called The Truth. Huh? Oh, and you end up talking about DJs, huh? But you forgot about DJ Clue. You forgot about DJ Clue. You forgot about Memphis Bleak. You forgot about The Understanding, didn't you? You forgot about The Understanding. But let me go down to 2001. Beanie Siegel, The Reason, Jay-Z, The Blueprint. Not only The Blueprint in 01, but Jay-Z MTV Unplugged album dropped in 01. Not only did that drop, State Property dropped State Property in 01. And I know we don't like to speak of good brother Kells, but Jay-Z and Kells had the best of both worlds in 01 too. Come on, man. But not only that, and the crazy thing is, I gotta shout you out for this album. Cameron, Come Home With Me was in 02. So when you know, you say the 2000s can't compare, but then you got Philadelphia Freeway coming out the works, huh? The Diplomats. Hold up, I'm not done. Joel Santana, From Me to You. So when you speak about the 2000s. Just throw some respect on their name, man. You can't. I know Bad Boy was an era that we will never forget. But don't you ever forget about Rockefeller and what Rockefeller has done. Don't you ever forget about Dame. Don't you ever forget about Biggs. And most importantly, don't you ever forget about Young Hova. H to the Izzo. And before I go, I cannot speak on state property without bringing up Young Guns, Neef and Chris. I cannot forget about Tough Love because they gave us no better love. And that's all I got to say. And I didn't even go too far in the 2000s. I kept it right around 03, 04. I didn't go too far. But you brought up Bad Boy, so I had to go Rockefeller.
So do you have a last rebuttal, or are you done?
That's it. I have
absolutely, man.
nothing to say.
Listen, I'm tell you about this young fella by the name of Nas, huh? He came through. He was very, 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 very young fella, man. He came through with an album called Illmatic, just changed hip hop. Right then and I'm not gonna be long before you. This is just my last real quick thing. You know what I'm saying? We got Nas, and then over there on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? It was the Dr. Dre's of the world who just changed hip hop completely. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about the 90s, we have to think about how hip hop changed from hibbity hop to these niggas really hot. and that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, you got last rebuttal?
I'm gonna just say this. Since you want to switch coasts a little bit, I'm just gonna drop Ludacris on y'all. We can't forget about Ludacris. What's your fantasy? Huh? Come on, man. Can't forget
Ludacris
about
on the East
Little
Coast.
John.
All right, now.
Whoa.
Can't forget about.
I'll let that go. But whoa.
We can't forget about Lovers and Friends.
Woo.
We can't forget about these records. We can't forget about these artists that were so just the greatest of the 2000s, man. You can't forget about it. So go ahead and talk about the 90s, but 2000s is smoking the 90s like a black and mild.
Okay.
All right. Who want to go first?
And that's it. That's all I got to say.
Which one of our judges like do? I will go first if it need to be.
Go first, Key.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna go with. Scoop, you good as always.
Your hair's phenomenal.
No, Scoop, you good as always. You came in with the same game plan with last week. But the only difference is I'm on the other side now. And I don't care. None of them old verses you was trying to spit. I think you noticed halfway through when Britt ain't respond to a single lyric, you say, oh shit. So Taj though. See Taj? Once you said Chingy, I said, all right, now you talking my language. You know I like a little dance on it, right there. You said Drizzy Drake, but you ain't say Wayne. But I'm Young Money to the death of me.
Skizzy boy, you did good. Only thing is you name. So I'm gonna go with Taj on this.
You don't know them niggas, Scoop.
Hold on. All right, can I say one quick? Cash Money came out in 92.
Nah. You should have said. No, if Taj said Juvenile, oh my God.
I forgot about that. My bad, y'all.
Hey, I feel like, Todd, you miss way too many people for me. You miss Wayne. You miss too many people, man. Like, you missed out on a lot of people. You brought up Chingy before you brought up Wayne. I'm ashamed of you for that. How you brought up the other people on state property. And they cool, but like we don't know them. We only know them because we from Philly.
Because you know nothing about hip hop.
That's the only reason we know them.
You know nothing about hip hop.
I know
Get
them.
your judge. Get your judge.
I
Get
know
your
them.
judge. Keith, get your
Put
judge.
them in the court. Order.
Right. The world don't know who they are. The world know who Pac is and Snoop and Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang was in the racial draft on the Chappelle Show. Now I don't want to hear nothing. So I got to give it to Scoop. They got drafted, you know what I mean? I got to give it to Scoop.
Darrell?
Speak?
No, we got another judge. You shut your mouth sometimes. Huh?
Listen, it's your
No.
So basically, right?
I think we lost our guest judge.
I feel like, and we got to keep the show rolling. So I feel like I won. You know what I'm saying? I have 2 against 1. Scoop only got 1 vote.
Hold on.
So I feel like, I mean, I don't know what the judge thinks, but
hold on. It's 3 against 1. You got me, Britt, and it's V. And she said,
no, I don't hear that. I don't hear that.
Tides wins the popular vote again. Tides
I don't hear that.
Oh, I was waiting for this moment. Old Scoop wanted to sing all that old R&B shit. Tides came beside him.
Oh, I hear it.
Ready. I talked to Tides before this. I did not cash that and whoop that ass. Take that DMS thing off. That's how sad you look right now. Oh, big head ass. Oh, I was waiting for you.
Right. You ain't Scoop. You ain't bring up the extra joint either though.
Shut up.
I brought up X how he went platinum twice in 1 year.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
yeah, but you forgot about 50 Cent going diamond in 2000.
Right, he said
you ain't bring up the score.
See, but look,
the Fugees
go that far into the 2000s, so he didn't say Wayne because Wayne.
I didn't. Yeah, about to say I didn't go too far. I kept it. The reason I kept it there because he spoke about Bad Boy, so I wanted to speak about one of the greatest labels in the 2000s, which was Rockefeller.
You know what, Ty? Stop explaining yourself. You're really lost. I don't care what I'll do is I'll take this victory.
It's not a victory, but not only did you lose. First of all, you not only lost because I won by popular vote. You only got 1 vote.
First of all, don't count for shit.
That's because I listen to it. Like hip hop.
Huh?
Who did V vote for?
V said Team Tides with the fist up.
Oh, okay.
That's how you know she's
how you gonna put a fist up?
Hold on. And then my mama, your auntie came in and said, Team Tides.
Auntie Tracy.
Auntie Tracy.
Yeah, was getting disrespectful now.
Come on, Auntie Tracy.
Oh, you thought I got some? You got your auntie walking in?
Now.
Oh man. I guess I can't give my speech, huh?
No, you can't. But I like to give mine.
Go ahead, Tyler.
My victory speech. You know,
go ahead,
I like to thank my parents for bringing me into the world because they don't understand how blessed they are to have a child like me.
Night.
Huh?
I said they're kicking you out tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah, man, but you know, I come to court to win, and that's all I do. I'm the Johnny Cochran of the TalkHvy court, and that settles that.
He is good. That boy good.
Oh man. Well, I don't even want to host now.
Let's do it because I can host.
Wait, hold on.
But,
can you take us out of the show for us? We don't want to hear from a loser.
Yeah, take it down. I don't even want to do it no more.
So before we end the show today, I just want to slide in another sponsor bit. You can find all things at TalkHvy. You can find it on Instagram, YouTube. Please check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch everything from sketches to podcasts to interviews. Anything you want to talk about, we talking about it. And special thanks to our guest, Darrell Robinson, a premium drummer and musician and extraordinary producer. We thank you for joining our show today. And that wraps up a whole nother episode of TalkHvy. I'm your boy, Taj.
Call me, Rob.
It's Scotty.
You go, Britt.
What we doing?
Girl, just Britt.
Where's Scotty?
I don't even care.
And that's Scoop.
And it's your boy Scoop Burgundy.
Yeah. And it's Scotty.
Yeah.